Welcome back, YouTube. So we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Doge signals. We're going to talk about what just came from the White House and the overall effect that it's having and will have on crypto, because we've had some interesting development here that kind of changes what's going to happen, and especially in the short term. So the first thing is I wanted to point out is in my last video, I was pointing out the fact that we have not, it's been several years since we've had a rejection of a golden cross between a 14 and 72. And we still haven't, but I just wanted to point that out because it's very unlikely to happen. But what they can do is, especially with the macros, because remember the three biggest things that affect the price action are going to be like whale selling off, Bitcoin price movement, and then macro events, and probably Bitcoin, macro, and then whales in that particular order when it comes to price movement in the asset. So what we're seeing here is we have somewhat of a kind of like a grazing here, and we're probably going to have something similar to, I probably can find a better example on Bitcoin, is when it ran parallel for a while very closely. And then it had that breakaway conviction, and you got that run to the upside, probably something like October 2022 here, except a little closer. I think Bitcoin has a good example of this. We'll take a look at later in the video if we get that run here. But as far as for the capital coming into the asset, it's still there. It doesn't necessarily negate the fact that this signals are run around 100% of the time, like literally like 80% of the time, especially like the last 3 years. This is it's been a very strong signal. So what we're looking at here is some divergence overall in the macros. And if you haven't seen any of my posts, what I'm referring to is the fact that Biden rejected the ability for institutions to pretty much hold custody of crypto. Not just Doge, not just Bitcoin, crypto at all. Like so, and this matter of fact, let's go to the actual letter here, because I'm pretty sure this is party propaganda, because one of the first things that was said was he said something about the Republican led. So this is the actual letter here. I posted it on my community section. So if you have not seen it, you can go to my page, David Mitchell Jr., and click on community, and then you will be able to read the actual post from the White House. So it says, blah, blah, blah. It says, by virtue, I'm invoking the Congressional Review Act. This Republican-led resolution would inappropriately constrain the SEC's ability to set forth appropriate guardrails and address future issues. This reversal of the considered judgment of the SEC staff in this way risk undercutting the SEC's broader authorities regarding accounting practices. My administration will not support measures that jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors. Yes, that's what you're concerned with. Appropriate guardrails will protect consumers and investors are necessary to harness the potential benefits and opportunities of crypto asset innovation. My administration is eager to work with Congress to ensure a comprehensive and balanced regulatory framework for digital assets, building on existing authorities, which will promote the responsible development of digital assets, payment innovation, and help reinforce United States leadership in the global financial system. Therefore, I am vetoing this resolution. Joseph R. Biden Jr., the White House. Okay, so what does this mean in a nutshell? So, in my opinion, I'm gonna give you my opinion first, and then I'm gonna. Matter of fact, let's look at this. Let's deal with what it actually says. So, he is the move right now is going to be to pretty much not, because in the macro event of things, obviously crypto is a threat to the dollar. We can all agree on that. We can all agree that having transactions, the ability to circumvent the dollar, has always posed a threat, especially if you're dealing with something that is not easily manipulated as a dollar. So don't be tricked and say that, oh, the government's pro crypto and all that kind of stuff. Fed coin is coming regardless. You can believe that. It's not about necessarily mooning your coins and stuff, or just about them making money. They're going to have a place in the crypto market. There's going to be some type of government crypto dollar or something like that. You can believe that. But the issue now is it's becoming a, like I mentioned this a few videos ago, and I said that get ready for around Q4, especially we're going to experience some volatility around the election time. And this is what I meant. Right now, this I believe is going to be used as some propaganda to kind of gain votes a little later. Do I believe they're going to pass something for crypto? Yes. But I believe they're going to wait until around election time because it's going to have kind of like that swing effect. It's going to have a bigger effect then versus now. So it's going to be like, hey, look, we got student loan forgiveness. Hey, look, we got the we're going to do the housing tax credit, and then hey, look, we are pro crypto and stuff like that. And this is not about party affiliation. I'm not trying to sway you one direction or the other. That's your business. I'm just looking at the facts here and give you my opinion. As far as for this is more of like a chess move, in my opinion, versus him actually caring about what crypto goes one way or the other, because they've already told you back in 2020 they're doing an investigation and doing a development into a Fed crypto, like Fed crypto or something like that. And you can go back and look at 2020. I'll repost some of those videos that I mentioned back then, because crypto dollar is coming. So I think that is something we need to just kind of focus on and remember that when we see these rejections and stuff, that all plays a part. So the question is now, how does this play a part in the bull run or the bull cycle of crypto? Is this a major factor? And the answer to that is absolutely. So we had the retail boom in 2020, right? Which was obviously, if you're talking about Doge specific, it's obviously we had Elon, and then Doge is like the father of like meme crypto. So there's a lot of capital coming in there, and then the stock market was booming, crypto was booming. We had like over 40 million new investors come into the market with like Robinhood and stuff, and they start trading. And so there's a bunch of new capital coming into the market. This run is a little different, especially for crypto. This run was led by the institutions coming in, kind of laying the groundwork for the future of crypto, right? A lot of the even projections for Bitcoin, everything was laid around the fact that, hey, we're going to have a bunch of this institutional capital come in. Now, mind you, they're not investing in crypto for the sake of investing in crypto or mooning anybody's coins. They're here to make money, same way retail is. And if there are government restrictions as far as for them being able to hold coins, which means that they won't necessarily have a controlling factor in the asset prices, this kind of, not even kind of, it puts a damper in their ability to make sense of allocating large amounts of capital here, even if it's from like a investing standpoint or ETF standpoint, if they cannot hold the coins. Because when in a few videos ago, maybe like a couple months ago, I mentioned the fact that I said something about like the stabilization of crypto, and I said as institutions come into the asset, we're not going to see these 4-year bear markets anymore. It'll be a much shorter period, and you may have a sell-off, but institutions, when they come in, that these assets aren't going to cut in half or 80% for 4 years, and they have billions or trillions of dollars in this asset, that they have $1 trillion and it goes to 500 billion for 4 years. Like that's not like the crypto cycle in itself is going to change with institutional involvement at those high levels. So this plays a big factor into the like projections, what the future of crypto looks like, and can we still have a bull run? And then with retail and all that kind of stuff, absolutely, we can still have I'm not saying the bull run's canceled without institutions. Now, some of those higher numbers, all this Bitcoin to 500,000, and Bitcoin to 1 million, all that kind of stuff like that, and Ethereum to 10,000, 25,000, and Doge $1.50, like that. Certainly, those numbers are certainly effective, because if you think retail has $5 trillion, $6 trillion, $7 trillion to put into crypto, we can do some quick math here just on credit cards, home ownership and stuff, and tell you that the money's not there for the retail sector to pump crypto to those highs. It's a combination between, even last cycle, it's a combination between institutions and then retail, and they come together, and that's how you get those blow off tops and those big runs. To the length of this is affected, I don't necessarily think that the bull run is canceled. I think what we're looking at is because now crypto is intertwined in the political game. I think that now we're going to see some volatility until we get closer to around election time. I think this is more so going to be used for anything on the mainstream or the big institutional level. I think that more so this is going to be used now to kind of harness votes versus moving on any type of speed or having allocation to saying, hey, look, we need to do what's best for the retail sector or do what's best for consumers. Now I think we're going to see a lot of these regulations just kind of push through late Q3, Q4, really around vote time. And again, that is typically when you get the highest amount of price action anyway. Just typically when you start to get those blow off tops around Q4, Q1 of 2025. So this is really what we're looking at here, in my opinion. I think that, let's go back here to the charts here now that I've explained that. I know it took a little longer than I thought, but I think that what we need to look at now is what this next leg looks like. And it's not just Dogecoin. Even for Bitcoin, this next leg, what we do in between where we are now and this next leg determines what that blow, kind of like the range for that blow off top, like how strong is this next leg going to be? Because regardless of if we do if we do a wait until Q4, Q3 thing before we get some large institutional allocation coming in, we'll still have a leg in between there. The case is how strong is that leg going to be? Are we going to is it going to be like a ground liquidity thing off of the 72, or is it going to be some sideways movement? Because we've had that movement kind of happen in a bear market when there's mass indecisiveness. And I think that a lot of the catalyst for this market, like I said, is wrapped around the institutional involvement. And now it's being used as kind of, I'll just say political propaganda for now. So we may see some continued sideways movement here until we get an inkling of what direction the government's going to go, because that plays a big part in a lot of the capital. Like the institutions, like retail, we can put millions, maybe even billions of dollars into some of these coins. But when you're talking about doubling the crypto market, tripling the crypto market, or even if we're staying on trend here and us going to 10 trillion, if we're trying to even match something similar to what happened in 2020, 2021, that has to be in a combination with retail and institutional money. So that is what we are looking at here. We have the confirmed data in Bitcoin. We got we haven't seen a rejection of this or this kind of cancel itself out in years. And this is what I meant by with the golden cross. You can see something similar here, even when we had what you would consider like a death cross, but it still trended sideways for a few weeks until we got that cross to the upside here. So it's not a indicator that there's no capital coming in. The question is how much capital is coming in, because this certainly plays a factor. When we have the total crypto market cap, we have our cross here as well, and we are pretty much trending right along because we still occurred, but as of the 14-day, we're kind of like right beneath it, around 2.48 trillion. So let me see if I can see an example here for crypto. Because even here, we would come up and touch the 72, and then we got that cross. The price action always comes when you get the cross, like always. So, but right now, we're running a little parallel to it in Doge. And it's crazy the timing of all of this, really, because we're really charting this on the day, saying, "Hey, look, tomorrow we're looking good." Then Trump gets arrested, and I see some of the panic on the X and Reddit for crypto users, and they're like, "Watch the crypto legislation fall through. And then sure enough, the very next, like what an interesting 48 hours for crypto. I mean, crazy. So that's what we're looking at right now. We'll see how this plays out over the next couple of days and see if we're going to get more of a parallel price action. We're looking close here as far as for like a touch. So we'll see how this plays out because we're getting the crosshair. They're touching, but ultimately we'll have to kind of see how this plays out because they can certainly mesh together and go sideways. So it's not like a rejection, but we'll see how this plays out because the macro is very important here. But in my opinion, I think this is going to be dragged out until probably like Q3 or so and used as political propaganda. And then for voting purposes, Biden's going to come through. Everything's going to and be like, hey, look, we passed all of this. We passed all this. We did this. We did this. We did this. All right, go vote. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think that's kind of going to line up with that later year run that we typically have regardless. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We're going to touch base a little later today about some of these price actions as well to see kind of what big money is doing. We'll dive into that later today, but I wanted to address some of the macro events here now because I know some of you guys had some questions here. So we'll wait until we get some more price movement and some more contracts and stuff goes out. And then we'll kind of compile that to see what big money is doing to prepare for this unexpected turn in events here, right? So let me know your comments in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. We're going to beat Bitcoin to 100,000. So it looks like we have a little more time to do that now. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Thanks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.